Guys, what's going on? I'm making chocolate covered pretzels today, and I'm doing like the boiler, what is it, the boiler, no, I had, I just said this name like 5 times, the double boiler effect, that's what it is. Gosh, I'm such an airhead tonight. Oh my goodness, this chocolate is melting really, really well. Okay, I burned my pot holder. Literally, like it's sparking right now. And the smell of burn is in the air. Merry Christmas. Oh my gosh. I'm using like the smallest little pot imaginable. Usually I do the middle one, a medium pot, but I've been frying in that pot for the last couple days. So I wait till I get it about half melted, and then I just come in here and take it off the heat, because if you try to melt all of this over the heat, then you're going to over melt it, and then it's going to become really, really hard. So just keep on doing the folding technique, because the places that are not hot, you keep on folding and it will get that way in a minute. And this is almost pretty much all melted, so there's a few that are not really done yet, but that's okay. And I need also another little doodad. So let me do this. There we go. And what I like to do is I just take like a handful of pretzels, like a lot of them. That might have been too many for this tiny little bowl. And I just take them all in and I fold them over. And if you're going to do sprinkles or anything to that fact, then you're going to do them when they're wet, when they're really nice and hot. Now if you want to do this with fruit, you can. But if you're going to do it like this with bananas, what you do is you cut your bananas like in half, and then you put them in the freezer for a good 10 minutes, so that, by the way, they get you the hot melted chocolate. See, there we go. Now they're all in there. And I take this little, kind of looks like the skewer that you would go inside a turkey to close the legs with. That's what I use. And I just take, after folding in all those pretzels, I just take them and I lay them on wax paper. It doesn't matter which side. I tend to scrape a little bit as I go off. And the first, let's say 10 to 15, are going to have a lot of chocolate on them. And then when you get to the end, you realize that you want them to go a little bit farther. And also be careful, don't touch the bowl because it's hot. Okay. Now they're not going to melt, they're not going to dry within the next like 4 or 5 minutes. They will after that. So after you get like your first little batch out, try to scrape them up the bowl. Sorry, that's Kardashians in the background. I'm actually going to take that and change it to frozen, because Kardashians are on like every day. Sorry guys, I'm trying to find it. Oh guys, I'm so sorry. I knew that Frozen was on, I just can't find it. Goodness gracious. What the heck? Okay. I found it. Sorry guys. I love that movie. I know it's a kid movie, but I watched it for the first time last week. And if there's broken pieces, don't worry about it. Just set it apart, and just eat those. Enjoy those for yourself. And usually if it's a bigger bowl, then it has a lot more room for me to kind of get the chocolate off. So you just kind of gotta put your little pick thing in there and find it. So I have in here about half a bag of Hershey's chocolate and about a third of a bag of Toll House milk chocolate morsels. I'd love to use milk chocolate. If you're going to make yourself a treat or somebody else a treat, might as well go with what you like. Yeah, I could go with dark chocolate and be a little bit more kind of healthy, but if you're going to make a treat like this, then just go for it. Make sure to set these apart far enough so that way they're going to have time to cool. Wow, I really put a lot in there. I have about a good 10 to 15 pretzels already. And that's how you do it. And in about a minute or so, I'm going to just put some sprinkles on. Now just take your little stick thing and clean it off. And then you're going to want to take a really good spatula and take all that chocolate and go down with it. And as long as it's not melting, as long as it's not getting stiff, you can just keep on making pretzels. There's a little piece right there that I'm trying to move up the bowl. It's still a teeny bit warm, but not that warm. I want to just take all that chocolate and scrape it back down. That way when you do the next round. And as long as you get your chocolate good and hot, then it can sit there for another maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Okay, sprinkle time. I usually like to do these kind if they're going to come out. Okay. Or I can just do that and why not? My niece, when she was a little girl, she used to call them Frinkles with an R, not an S. I thought it was just so stinking adorable. Okay. You can use the sugar ones as well. A little bit of red sugar, if you can see down that far. If not, then I'll do some more when we get closer down here. Now this is the first time doing a long video on my iPad, so I have no idea how long this is going to go for before it's going to want to just stop. So I'm going to take another handful, go right in there. Probably did a little bit too much still, but you know what? It's alright. And I'm learning with a smaller bowl that I need a smaller little spatula, so I don't need the big huge spatula with a small bowl. And again, to get your chocolate just right, you heat about half of it up. You put a lot in the bowl until it's about halfway done, half of the chocolate is melted, then you take it off the heat. Because if you leave it on the heat, then you're going to overcook it. I do it every time. And see, this has been sitting here for what, 10 minutes? And it's still nice and soft. And just keep on folding until you get everything covered. Where's that little thingy? Here we go. That's the technical term, guys. The little thingy. See, and then the second round, they come out a little bit less chocolatey. And you don't have to have chocolate on every single ounce, every single inch of these pretzels. If there's a little bit showing, that's okay. Then they're going to know that you made it homemade. I think sometimes the imperfections make the things perfect because they know that you spent time with it. If it looks too perfect, they might think, oh, well, so-and-so bought it this year. That's why you do, like, make things a little imperfect. And if you're doing this and you're starting to get frustrated, just turn everything off. Take the chocolate off the heat, set it down, go sit down somewhere for 10 to 15 minutes. I learned, this took me a long time to do these. It's taken me a good 10 to 15 years to really properly know how to do chocolate covered pretzels. Not do them, but just know how to cook the chocolate right without overheating. And I love this little tool because when you get a pretzel on here and you get it to the end of it, because the chocolate is so thick it doesn't swindle down the rod. And then I might I want to make a lot for my grandmother. I might be visiting my grandmother tomorrow, and I'd like to make a lot for her. Even though she's 96 and she doesn't eat a whole lot of candy stuff. This is kind of like my Christmas gift to her. If you have, some people out there only have food stamps and you don't have really anything to buy somebody. You can buy chocolate and pretzel food stamps. You can buy just a little bit of chocolate and some pretzels with a little bit of money. Go to the dollar store, get a nice cute little tin for $1, and there's your present for somebody. Just because the holidays now are very commercialized and very materialistic doesn't mean that you've got to give in to that. I know that when somebody gives something to me from their heart, I appreciate it more than if it's a bedazzled anything. Don't get me wrong, I like all the bling and stuff, but it means more to me when it's from somebody's heart. That's just the kind of person that I am. I put this on here for about maybe 10 seconds on the boiling water, just to heat it up a little bit so it doesn't dry out on me when I'm doing this little last round. And It's hard to do this because you wipe it and then you gotta do that, and then you wipe it and then you gotta. There should be a tool, you know. So, let that sit for a second. Just the Hershey's chocolate. Oh, that's like a little. You know how it gets like back behind your ears, like on your neck? Like when something's so good, it just makes that kind of peek up. There's some red. But now I did a lot of red. Sometimes it doesn't show if it's a dark, whatever you're making, if it's dark. There's some green. Green and red and white and Merry Christmas. I'm going to do half of these with sparkles and sprinkles and all the other kind of stuff. Or as my niece would say when she was 3 years old, frinkles. She would say frinkles. And I think the rest I'm going to do, I'm just going to leave plain. Some people like a lot of pizzazz and all that stuff. Like I love these pretzels right here with the sprinkles on them. And some people just like plain. So that is how you make chocolate covered pretzels. Like I said, it can be a really easy gift. I think actually I'm going to turn the water off. I am going to sit with my babies and enjoy watching Frozen. And I might, whenever these become dry, probably eat a couple tonight. And I bought 2 tins. And I gave my swap Dottie one. And I really wanted to give her this one, and I forgot when I was doing that. But I have this cute little tin that I can give to my grandmother, full of these little chocolates. And I'm also going to be making either an apple, oh, what's it called? An apple sponge cake, or I'm going to make some banana bread. I have to make banana bread anyway because they're dying. But I'm going to take all these and put these in here like I did with my swap Dottie. Yes, I keep on mentioning your name because I love you, my sister. So, like I said, if you really don't have any money and you're on food stamps and you're on a program and you get like a little bit, you know, you can do these with pretzel rods. I prefer these with the smaller pretzels because they taste better to me. You know, you can spend your food stamps. Not that I did. Actually, did I? I might have. I might have bought at least one of these packages of chocolate with my food stamps. And, you know, there's no shame. You can just buy a little bit of something and make something for somebody. And Merry Christmas, you know. Don't feel bad that you don't have this big, elaborate $5,000 gift for somebody, you know. I think people oftentimes just test for pretzels forget that it's the heart that counts and not the pocketbook. So I love you so much, and I'm going to come around and I'm going to turn y'all off, and hopefully you'll love this video. I have fumbled with my words a little bit in the video, but hopefully you'll have enjoyed it. It looks like a hot mess from this way, and if this turns off, I'm sorry, but let me just come over here. Come over here, just a little bit closer. Come over here. And those look like big blobs. But that's because they're still sheen, and when they harden, they turn like a different. See, this is sheen right here. You can see that, and these are starting to harden, and those are different colors. Those are the kinds that I like. So anyway, God bless y'all. Merry Christmas, and I'll talk to you soon. And that doesn't look like a whole lot of pretzels, but it is when you start putting it into that little bitty tin. Bye, guys.